Hey everybody, Rob Cootie here, the MLM Solution. How you doing today? Today is Hump Day, Wednesday, August 11th. My gosh, we're almost halfway through the month. It's hard to believe. August 11th, Hump Day. Love Hump Day. So much closer to Friday, right? All right. With that being said, we have a great subject for today. As you know, we go live each and every day, Monday through Friday, on our Facebook page, our YouTube channel at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And today's topic, podcast number 232, how to make your volume grow on a daily basis. Guys, if you can make that a target and if you can make that a reality, you are sitting on the beach with two coconuts in your hands instead of one. You're drinking out of two coconuts at one time simultaneously on the most beautiful beaches of the world, and you are riding high. Can you make that happen? Yes, and we're going to talk about how in today's episode, so don't miss it. If you will, so that our fellow network marketers can also be exposed to this wonderful information, if you will, while you're out and about on the internet, or if you can right now, contact your friends and share our hashtag the MLM Solution, hashtag the MLM Solution. You can use that to find us on any platform that we're on, including Facebook and YouTube. Additionally, go to our website, themlmsolution.net. There again, themlmsolution.net. We broadcast live there. We have links to the live broadcast, all that right there as well. So there's no way that you can't find us if you're looking for us. Join us today, as we said, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we talk about a very intriguing tag business building. It's a method, and it's something that you can make happen. We're going to talk about it in today's episode. With that being said, I'm going to get off of here, and we'll get the show started very soon.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie and Marie Cannon.
Happy Hump Day, Miss Marie.
It is Wednesday all day long.
All day long. That much closer to TGIF. All right.
True.
Freelance Friday, FLF. So, with that being said, I'm excited about today's episode. Monday was a rough start. If you guys have went and listened to Monday's episode, you know that Rob really struggled, and Marie was trying her best to support me, but Rob really struggled to stay focused. My tongue was tied in so many different directions. Monday was really tough. Had telephone calls coming in because we had medical issues in the family. Hopefully that won't happen today. That's the reason why I bring it up about Mondays, because I may get a phone call even today. We got some medical things going on in our family that we have to address. And Miss Marie, as always, will admirably step in and continue the conversation and the points being made. All right, Miss Marie, interesting subject today, not talked about very much, because most people can't fathom having volume growth on a daily basis. We're going to talk about how to make that happen very shortly. But before we do, as always, we are sharing with you our upcoming live events. Yes, we are going to do them despite what the virus is doing. You can't stop living. We're not going to stop moving forward towards the live events just because of the virus. We'll all be very responsible and diligent about protecting ourselves the best we can, but we have to go on with life. And that being said, you can go to MLMmastersacademy.com, MLMmastersacademy.com. That is the URL address for our live event. You can go there, you can register. As you know, with us, there's no shenanigans when you get on a list. We're not going to sell to you. And when you fill out this form to get on the live event notification and an update list, you will not have to worry about any shenanigans on our part. You will not get any sales emails. There's no payment required at this time. Okay. And the first 100 people who actually not only register, but also make it to the live event are going to get treated like royalty. We're not going to reveal what we're going to do for you guys. We want it to be a surprise. But the only way that you can get in a position to be one of those first 100 people is go and register now. Because, Miss Marie, we may have a lottery system. If we have 300 people, you and I may put those names in a hat and just pull out the 100 people, but those people have to show up, right?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's going to be the first 100 people that actually register when we open true paid registration for the event and show up. So we're going to reward the quick decision makers.
There you go. The boss has spoken. All right. So once again, MLMMastersAcademy.com. Go there now and register while you can. Also, coming soon, we are going to be really opening up our 5 simple steps business building system. Guys, if you don't know what the 5 simple steps of this industry is, here's your chance to learn. If you go to 5simplesteps.net, not only will you have a very informative and revealing video that you do not want to miss, you also will have great detailed information about the 5 simple steps, what they are, how they work, okay, and what they can do for you. You do not want to miss that information. Guys, this is the basics of the business. As you can see, we have steps 1 through 5 right there on the screen. For all you on the podcast, step 1, develop leads. Step 2, deliver the message. Step 3, the 90-day mini blast. Step 4, find and work with your leaders. And step 5, CCBBA, which stands for consistent, correct business building activity. You can go to our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, even Rumble, and you can do a search and you will get a video on those 5 simple steps, and it will take you through each and every one of them, revealing exactly what's going on. But you can go there and guess what? Get access to these 5 simple steps right away. All right. With that being said, Miss Marie, are you ready for today's topic?
I am. I'm excited about today's topic. It's one of those that not too many people talk about. Not too many people even realize it's a possibility and what it can do for their business once you achieve it.
Yeah. I think the other day you were a little bit surprised. You knew something about it, but you said there was some information that you was not aware of on the product cycle and how it affects your business building process in a negative way. There's multiple negative fronts in that. And you told me, you said, well, hey, I didn't know a couple of those things. You were aware of most of it, but I was surprised by that. But you know what? I always assumed that you know certain things. And sometimes you may not. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff I don't know.
Well, and sometimes there are things out there that's just like, oh, yeah, that is the reality, but I've never thought about it or never verbalized it because it's not really a matter of focus, but it is information that is good to be aware of and how it impacts your business. I mean, if you're truly looking to build a successful business, a large income for yourself, that lifestyle changing income, you need to be aware of these things. One, so you can avoid the pitfalls, some of the things that we've managed to fall into. So why bother repeating our mistakes? But also better ways of doing things. Because sometimes when you're aware of something, you can either avoid doing it or you realize, oh, I need to make a slight change to what I'm currently doing. And it can make an incremental impact on your success.
Absolutely. And we revealed what you could do in that, how the product cycle has its negative effects. And at the end of that episode, guys, if you go and listen to that episode, at the end, we tell you exactly how to avoid that happening to you, that product cycle negativity. So golden nugget that was given free, right, Miss Marie?
Absolutely.
We gave the problem, we gave the solution. All right, so today we don't have a problem to address, but we do have a challenge. And the challenge is how to get your business grow on a daily basis. And you may say, wow, that sounds like a daunting task, and it really is. If you're going to go about building this business the traditional way, which means by the product, good luck, okay, getting there. It is a rough road to travel. And can you do it? Absolutely. But you're going to be beat up at the end. You're going to be wore out. It's going to take you a long time. It's going to take a monumental, superhuman effort. Matter of fact, you might want to put in an application to the Justice League, because if you survive the product-led business building approach, you deserve to be a superhuman or a freak of nature, whatever the Justice League is. because man, that is I will shake your hand and build a statue. How's that? It is a tough road to hoe. All right. So with that being said, it leads us to our topic of today. How, in fact, do you make your volume grow on a daily basis? Well, let me just give you a small scenario. Imagine waking up every day and looking at your back office, and the volume yesterday was 10,100 group volume for your whole organization. And then you wake up the next day, and your volume is 11,500, okay? And then the next day, it's 12,800, and so on, where every day you have this incremental stair-step progress and growth in your volume, okay? And you say, wow, that would be awesome if I could do that. Imagine what your check would be at the end of the month. It would be mind-boggling, okay, to some of you right now. To those of us that have been around in that scenario, you get to the point where you expect those checks, Ms. Marie, since you know how to do it. You're disappointed if it doesn't happen. Does that make sense?
Right. Yep.
Okay. It's like when you make your first million, what ends up happening is that you're like, wow, and you pat yourself on the back and you're like, that's really tough and that was hard. And then when you make your next one, you're like, okay. And then the next one, you don't even think about it. You know, you're just like, whatever. Oh, I got that much in the bank. I did not know that. Because you quit counting after a while. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's so important for you to make that first million. You're so focused on it that you celebrate it big time when you do make it. And then it just becomes old hat like anything else, and you don't think about it. Well, the same thing in network marketing and the volume growth, okay? You know, it gets to a point where when you're riding the wave of a very unique situation where all the dynamics come together, there's a synergy that's taking place. I don't know how to explain it. It's a magical thing. I wish we could bottle it. Obviously, we cannot. But the thing is, there's a certain time where even on the inside, in the quiet moments of the day where you're sitting by yourself, you're thinking, this is special. I may never see this again, okay? If you get growth on a daily basis, that is, in fact, one of those moments. You may sit down and say, you might as well enjoy it because you may never see it again, okay? Look, most people are tickle pink to have aggressive, consistent monthly growth, okay? And most people think that's the pinnacle of success in network marketing, okay? But when you're with a new company and you have a chance to develop that legendary position, not a legacy position, a legendary position, meaning that this company, as you are with it longer and understand it more, you're like, wow, this is really special. I have a chance to really do something amazing here that I may never be able to do again. And Miss Marie, when you run with it and you say to yourself, I'm going to see how far I can go with this. I'm on a roll. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to run this thing till it stops or I fall over from exhaustion, okay? Because you have a situation, Miss Marie, where the results start taking on a life themselves and you're like, oh crap, I better not slow down. It almost scares you. You're almost afraid of it. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, you don't want to take your foot off the gas. You don't want to lose that momentum.
That's right. And at the same time, you don't want to put yourself in an early grave or lose your family. So you're like, you're doing this balancing act. It is a crazy, crazy time. Anyway, here you say, okay, Rob, well, how does this happen? Okay, Miss Marie and I have talked about this in private before. And I'm going to do my best to give you a clean, simple example. Miss Marie, if I get too complex or convoluted, please stop me, clarify for people. All right?
Yep. Okay,
so here's your first initial goal, obviously, is just to get going in your business, right? We've talked about how to get good duplication started. In order to get to this right here, well, first you might say, well, why would I want to do this? Excuse me. Well, there's really no reason outside of the fact, as we just stated, if you're on a roll, run with it. Go as far as you can. Don't stop. Okay, you may have a chance to make $3, $4, $5 million in a 2-3 year period. Go for it. It could change your life forever, right? So, Miss Marie, why stop at $1 million when you got things rocking and you log in your back office and you see you have a lot of leaders that are on the verge of exploding? Do not stop. Okay, right? Because that's an indicator, hey, I better run with this. That's how you put yourself in a position to have daily growth. So back to my point. It all starts with good duplication. We're not going to get into that. Go to if you become a member, you will see where we talk about it in certain episodes about how to create good duplication, right, Miss Marie? Because you got to have that right out of the gate. If you don't have it right out of the gate, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You have no chance in accomplishing this right here. Okay. So the only guideline to developing your business to where it's grown on a daily basis is, in fact, you realize as you're going along, 8 months in, 12 months in, 15 months in, oh my gosh, I got a hold of something special. This is one of those moments that Rob and Murray talk about. I have got to run this into the ground. That's how you, that's the guideline you use to determine whether you need to keep going towards this daily volume growth. And I'm telling you, if you do, you'll be so glad you did, okay? Because once again, as I tell you all the time, it's a fine line. You're already doing this much of the work. The success comes down to this. And usually it's timing, okay? So with that being said, you get out there, you're working your butt off, you're doing your 90-day mini blast, you're doing good duplication, you're doing all the things that we taught you, the 5 simple steps, and things are rolling. And your first goal is to what, Miss Marie? Have consistent monthly growth, right?
Right.
That's what everybody, and a lot of people stop there. They say, wow, this is fantastic. You know what? My check in let's say May was $5,000. And then, you know what? In June, it was $6,200. And then in July, it was $7,800. And you know what? And now, here it is, and we're almost at $9,000. We're in August, okay? And a lot of people say, well, Rob, isn't that daily growth? In order for you to get a monthly growth, isn't that happen on a daily basis? No, not at all. Because what happens, Miss Marie, is that you have pockets of explosion. Your business will go 3 or 4 days where there's no activity, you know what? And what that means is, Miss Marie, is that you have a group of leaders that are working, but they're working leads, and all those leads haven't made decisions yet. Or they just got in and haven't started yet. All of a sudden, like anything else in life, there's a lull, and all of a sudden you'll have this burst of activity, you know, and all this volume would be created. You might have it for 2-3 days in a row, and then it levels out, goes down to, you know, one person a day joining or nobody for 2-3 days. You get my point. You know what I'm talking about. We've all experienced it, okay? And Ms. Marie, you've gone through and talked to people in the prospecting process, and nobody signed up, and all of a sudden you have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 that'll sign up, right?
Right.
Okay. Same thing with the volume, guys. Exact same thing. All right. So, you can have monthly growth and increments in pay without having daily growth. Okay. And that can happen for months. And most people think, I made it, Miss Marie. I made it. I'm a superstar. No, that is what everybody's shooting for. That's just average. What do you mean average? Oh my gosh, my pay's going up. Everybody. Well, yeah, good luck. I mean, congratulations and good luck in the future. Okay. And you might say, well, why? Because really, Miss Marie, just because you have monthly growth doesn't mean it's going to go on for 2 years. Okay. And Miss Marie and I talk about the 5 phases of the business building process, really 4. There's 4 active. The 5th is nothing more than a marketing and promotional position, which we've talked about in the past. Not going to get into that. But Miss Marie, this is when you decide to do phase 3 and 4, right?
Right.
You've got monthly incremental growth on pretty much a consistent basis for the most part. But Miss Marie, you don't have that weekly growth where real stability starts to develop. You realize, Miss Marie, and I'm sure you do, and I apologize for saying it that way, but you realize that monthly incremental growth is not stability. It's not drink out of the coconut money, right?
Right. It's not.
No. Your business can go, I mean, real fast. You can grow for 6, 8, 12 months and think you got the cat by the tail. And guess what? That on the 13th, 14th, or 15th month, that cat's going to turn around and claw your eyes out. And your business is going to go, woo, and you're going to be, what up and what up? And, okay, because you thought you had it made. All right. Look, in order for you to have stability, your business is pretty much going to have to grow on a weekly basis. You know, most people are like, oh my gosh, that's unbelievable. That's unattainable. Well, no, it's not. You say, well, how do you do that? Miss Marie and I have been talking about it all the time without you guys realizing it. Your knowledge of the business model isn't developed enough to where you understand. Sometimes when we're doing episodes and we're talking about things, you don't understand and see into it for what it is, and that is the things that we talk about in sponsoring people 5 and above, okay, and working the numbers in network marketing are part of the hidden parts of you developing a weekly growing business. I'm talking about volume growth, okay? I'm talking about pin rank advancement, where you're building a business that is so big, and when you have multiple people 5 and above that are aggressively going after their dreams and their goals, to where your business goes from creating sporadic monthly growth to where it's doing now weekly growth. In other words, you've got 4 days out of a week where there's a lot of activity, and then for whatever reason, it'll tail off. Well, I can tell you the reason, but it'll tail off for 2 or 3 days, right, Miss Maureen? Mm-hmm. And then the next week, and it's not always Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, okay? Sometimes it could be Sunday and Monday, and all of a sudden you'll have a lull, and then you'll have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday that will explode. Nobody knows, but what happens is that you will start to experience, and sometimes it's just 1 day out of the week, sometimes it's 2 days out of the week. There's so many variables that it's hard to really sit here and give you an exact number, okay? And it's not our way of backing out of being committed and making a statement. Is that you have, guess what, different products, you have different comp plans, you have different growth patterns with companies, whether they're going into pre-launch into another country, which causes things to explode on all fronts, versus a company that's already in a country, even if it's only been for a month or two, okay? So there's so many variables where we can't say, well, if you do A, B, and C, then D is going to be the result. What we do know is from past experience, 60 plus years, that the numbers that we're talking about, the activity that is a result of those numbers, in fact, make these things happen on a regular basis. So let me check my phone real quick. Got to make sure that's not the wife.
Well, yeah, and I was going to say, just to back up a little bit, you know, we talk about the fact that people see progress on a monthly basis. They see that incremental progress, or maybe they're even seeing increases on a weekly basis. And oftentimes people will think they've made it at that point, and they'll start celebrating too soon, and they kind of step off the gas. It's similar to when you're hiking or mountain climbing. It's almost like a false summit. You know, you're on your way to the big time. You're climbing this mountain and you see what you believe to be the top of the hill. But once you get there and you crest that point, you realize, oh, there's a little bit of a plateau and there's still more climb to come to get to the actual top of the mountain, if that is your true goal. And some people will see kind of that false summit of that monthly or weekly incremental increase and think they've made it. When in fact, it's kind of a plateau. And not to say it's bad to stop there, but if the goal is that, you know, drinking out of the coconut money that you like to refer to, you want to shoot for the very top of that mountain. So you want to target that daily volume growth. That's
right. And, you know, it's fool's gold, Miss Marie, making you think that you have a stable business when in fact you don't. Mm-hmm. And in the scenario that you're talking about, not only that, guys, let me say this. The numbers in network marketing can hide a lot of potential issues. And once again, realize that when if we're always using the numbers, 60 people in 90 days, well, guess what? If you use that as a standard, say, well, Rob and Marie are always talking about 60 people, I'm going to use 60 people. And guess what? If you do 60 people, you're this far away from having potentially weekly growth consistently. Okay, that's the reason why we tell you to shoot for the stars. You may end up on the moon, because the activity and the numbers are all the same. Whether you sponsor 120 people or 60 people, it doesn't matter, right, Ms. Marie? The only difference is the number of people you end up sponsoring. Okay, and the thing is that if you're already able to do 60 people in 90 days, you may want to look at doing a phase 3, which means a second 90-day mini class, to do another 60 people in 90 days, right, Miss Marie? It'll be easier the second time around. And man, you're talking about an avalanche of activity and explosive growth it can happen in phase 3. But we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit because we need to talk about the numbers. Look, all the numbers that we talk about all the time are essential in you getting your business to the point where it's growing on a weekly basis. When you get into a daily basis scenario, guys, and you're not that far away, that's the reason why I keep using the fingers, because you're going to do this much work, which everybody has to do, okay? And when you do the numbers, the difference between becoming a superstar and being an average, okay business builder is this. It gets smaller as time goes along. In other words, Marie says, I'm going to commit to sponsor 125 people, 5 and above. Okay. And Rob says, I'm going to sponsor 60 people in 90 days. Miss Marie says, I don't care how long it takes. If I have to do 2 90-day mini blasts, I'm doing 125 people. I want to take this thing to the top. I want to get it done and over with. I want to do this one time and live the rest of my life. Okay. And Rob's like, well, if it doesn't work out here, I'll find me another company. Well, that may not work out for Rob. It's not always possible to find another company. So Marie, in my eyes, has the right approach. She's like, I'm here right now. By golly, this may end up being something special. I need to maximize that. I'm going to do it. So as she sponsors more and more people, the line between her being an okay business builder versus being a superstar is that thin. She's just a few people away from having this amazing business that's a talk of the town. Rob's this far away because he didn't do the numbers. Rob did the same activity. He talked to people. He did this. He did that. Right, Miss Marie? All the steps are the same. It's just that Miss Marie took it to another level. So the numbers are working in her favor. Part of the other numbers is that you got to do the threshold of profitability. If you want growth on a weekly basis, a daily basis, okay, you've got to do the threshold of profitability. You also have to use the scale of ambition, 5 and above. You have to, right, Miss Marie? Mm-hmm. No ifs, ands, or buts. You got to ensure that good duplication starts from day one, meaning showing the people how to get the first check and then doing the 5 simple steps of the business building process. You have to do those things, okay? Now, here's the thing. If you get in a hurry and you say, you know what, I'm going to say, screw this 5 and above, you know what, I just want to sponsor people. I'm just going to throw mud against the wall. I'm going to see what sticks. Miss Marie, you've heard that before. You've experienced it before. We actually might have believed in it. I never did wholeheartedly, but I understood what people were saying. And really what they were saying, Miss Marie, go out there and make a mess, sponsor as many people as you can. In other words, throw mud against the wall and see who sticks, right? Miss Marie, what you're doing is you're working the numbers. It's just a different way of saying work the numbers in network marketing. What they're saying is get out there, go crazy, sponsor as many people as you can, and let's see what sticks to the wall, right? That's what they're doing.
Yep.
Okay. But when you go out and you sponsor 125 people, and out of those 125 people, guys, only 10 of them are 5 and above, you sponsored, guess what? 115 people that aren't worth a hoot. So you did all this activity and you only got 10 people really out of it. We're going to do a future episode on that. Okay. Now, why is that important? Because you have no chance of developing a consistent monthly incremental growth, much less a weekly or a daily, right, Ms. Frank? Because the numbers are not in your favor. Okay.
Yeah. It's one of those cases where quality plays a larger part than quantity.
There we go. Thank you for the clarification. Boy, right to the point. Ooh. It's like she shot an arrow. All right. So with that being said, look, you got to use the scale of ambition. Okay. You've got to do what we teach you to do. Why is that important to your success? Because you want as many leaders. We talk about that all the time, right, Ms. Marie? One of the most important things you do in the business building process is identifying and working with the correct leaders. Okay. And your back office will tell you who those people are. The point is, the more people in this business, the essence of the business is to surround yourself with leaders, people that will do what you do, work as hard as you work, go after their goals. The more people you have in your organization like that, the greater chance you have of developing a business that will grow on a monthly, weekly, and a daily basis. Without those people, without working those numbers, you have no chance whatsoever. You say, well, Rob, how can that be possible? You're making it sound like it's impossible to do this. No, it's very possible. And it's actually quite easy if you'll do it correctly. And that is what? The scale of ambition, 5 and above. Sponsor as many people as you can, 5 and above. Don't get in such a hurry that you're sponsoring everybody. Don't get so frustrated just want to say, screw it, I'm not going to use the scale of ambition. I'm just going to start sponsoring people. you know what? I got to get this done. Stay the course. You'll be so glad you did. Because look, if you sponsor, end up out of your hard work, your commitment, and your bullheadedness, sponsoring 25 people, and out of those 25 people that are 5 and above, that are taking this business serious, and out of those 25 people, you have 3 or 4 that just go absolutely crazy. Guess what? They may build businesses so large that your business and the other 22 people are still growing on a consistent basis too. And what is everybody shooting for? That magical 10,000 group volume, which was what? 100 people doing 100 PV per month. Each one of those leaders, each one of those 25 leaders, including yourself, are doing what? Working your business to develop it to where there's 100 people doing 100 PV on all the shit, right, Miss Marie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why is that important? Because you're going to have multiple people in that in your organization, and you may have 3 or 4 that are really strong and blowing this thing out of the water. They got it early. They're going after it. They're rocking this thing, and I mean almost on a superstar level, to where you're having to work your tail end off just to stay ahead of them because you don't want to be embarrassed by them passing you by. Here's the thing: the other 22 are coming on to that 10,000 group volume, meaning that each and every week, okay, not month, each and every week, those 25 people are working their butts off to get to that 10,000 group volume. And the thing is that they're not all going to pop at one time. You may have 2 or 3 that'll do it in the month of June. You may have 3 or 4 that do it in July. You may have none do it in August. And then in September, you might have 2 or 3 more, right, Ms. Marie? There is going to be consistent growth. And since you sponsor these really top-notch people, they're doing what? They see, because you are talking with, you stay in touch with your leaders, and you're telling them during your leadership calls, you're saying, hey, you see where the threshold of profitability is working, how it's creating that 10th. Yes, and we've been teaching our people, this is phenomenal. We get it. It's simple to do. It takes work to get those 100 people, but man, it's worth it. Here's what the results are. And man, I've got 3 or 4 people in my business that are doing the same thing going, right, Miss Marie? It's not just the 25 people that Miss Marie sponsored, okay? It's the people that are in her downline 10 levels deep, right, Miss Marie? They're going after it because she did good duplication. What does that mean to you? That means that you have legs that are growing each and every week. They're bringing new people in because they're going after that 10,000 group volume, okay? And they are driving their businesses towards that goal. And Miss Marie, you and I did an episode, guys. If you haven't seen it or listened to it, whatever, you need to go and do it. Width is wealth, the depth is security. Why do I bring up the width is wealth? Because we talked about a moment ago, 125 people. Rob, are you insinuating we need to sponsor 125 people? No. What we're saying is if you sponsor 60 people in 90 days, that's a good place to begin, right, Miss Marie? And hopefully you get the 10,000 group volume out of those 60 people. But if you realize that this company, as you go along, is really something special, that it has really positioned itself to where it could have explosive growth because of the countries they're going into and the pre-launches and all this, you would say to yourself, I need to do a phase 3 and 4, right, Ms. Marie? Because I'm now in a position. I'm reading the growth of the company. I'm reading my leaders as I log into my back office. I'm in their growth, and I'm reading my business overall. And all the indicators are that there's something really special going on here. I need to maximize this. I need to sponsor another 60 people. Okay. Now, Miss Marie, because of her experience, might come into this business saying, I'm going to sponsor 125 people and I'm going to do all 4 phases. Okay. That is something that experience tells her. It's not something that she just wakes up and says, I'm going to do it. Okay. If phase 1 and 2 gets her the results she wants, she may stop there. Right, Miss Marie?
Right. Yep.
But if she sees where the opportunity opens up and she's like, wow, this is unbelievable. I may never get this again. I'm like 99 years old and I won't ever see this again. I better jump on it now. And so she goes out there and she sponsors another 60, 65 people. And you say, well, why is 65 instead of 60? We did an episode where we talked about have a buffer, right, Miss Marie?
Mm-hmm.
While you're at it, if you got some extra people right there, you better sponsor them. You never know. I would rather do 65 than look back and go, oh, I was right there. I was right there. Oh. I'd rather sponsor too many, Miss Marie, than not enough. Okay, so there again, that's the reason why I bring up the numbers 125. But keep in mind, the only way that number 125 is relevant is 5 and above on the scale of ambition. To sponsor as many as you possibly can, 5 and above. Does that mean that Miss Marie sponsored totally each and every person, 125 that are 5 and above? No. Some of them are going to fool her, despite her experience in reading people. Some of them had good intentions and life got in the way. Some quit and went someplace else. Some quit the industry altogether. Okay, but she put the odds in her favor because she focused on 5 and above, right, Miss Marie? The odds are in her favor. It's the only way you put yourself in a position to have a stable business. It's not just depth of security always. It's about the growth, okay? Because if you're not growing, you're dying. And there's going to be a point where your business is going to level off. But look at the people in Amway that have been with it since day one. They're making millions a year. Their businesses have leveled off, but they've leveled off at the millions per year level. That's a great place to end up, Miss Marie. I'll take that every day of the week, right?
That's the best retirement plan ever.
That's right. You talk about drink out of the coconut money, Miss Marie. Is that not crazy?
Yeah.
But the same story is true with the New Skin and with Herbalife and Mary Kay and Metaluca. They all have legacy positions, all of them. There's only a few available. So there again, the experience Miss Marie has, she does phase 1 and 2. She wakes up one day and says, oh my gosh, and she sees where it's opening up. And she has all these indicators that she reads, which we won't get into here. And she tells her husband, honey, I've got to do phase 3 and 4. We are at a special moment. And she realizes there may be a legacy position available for her. A legacy position means, guys, that there's only 3 to 4 people, maybe 5 or 6 at most, that most of these network marketing companies have, where all the volume, all the money that's created goes through those businesses because everybody else quits. Okay. If you have 100 people that join this new company in the first week, and out of those 100 people, 95, 96 or whatever quit, the people that are left, those 5 people left, all that volume is going through those 5 people. If that company grows into being $1 billion a year company, all that volume goes through those 5 people because all the other people that were there. And that's when positioning is important, is that when you, not just, we did this too, it's timing, not positioning is important. You said, well, the positioning is important here. It is. They were one of the first 100 people that joined the business in the first week, but they didn't quit. The other people did. They gave up that position. And what I mean, legacy position. I'm not talking about a numerical position. When you were number 9 person in the business, you're okay. You know, well, you were number 90, you're not okay. We're not going to let you be a legacy. No. It's all about activity. It's about who does the work. It's about who's in the right place at the right time. And as things filter out, there's only going to be a few people standing that were in at the beginning but took action. It's timing, not positioning. That's important, right, Miss Marie?
Correct.
Because Miss Marie joined this company in the first week, and Rob joined 3 months down the road. Okay, and my opportunity is not the same as hers because all that volume between the first week and 3 months later is gone. But all that volume went through one. You know, she's one of the people that is left from the first week where all that volume is going through. I'm building a large organization. I cannot pass her up. I can become a top earner. Okay, but all that volume goes through her. All those people, she could have 10,000 people in her downline because she stuck around, right, Miss Marie?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. All right, and Rob could have 10,000 people, but Rob could never have a legacy position, okay? Because Rob can rise up the ranks, and Rob can become 1, 3, 4 the top earners. But here's the thing: I could never take the position of Miss Marie, because timing was of essence. She was there in the first week and took action. I cannot overcome that. Does that make sense, Ms. Marie? No matter how big I build a business.
Yep, absolutely. And the key here, again, as I always like to harp on, is the taking action.
Yes.
You can't just come in and say, oh, I've got that legacy spot because I signed up the first week the company's in business. You've got to get to work. You've got to start that good duplication. You've got to find those, ambitious people, level 5s and above in the threshold of ambition. I'm not saying that right.
Threshold of profitability.
Threshold of profitability. That's it. But the scale of ambition. That was the one I was.
Oh, okay. I got you.
You're looking for the high quality people, not just bringing in everybody and their uncle because they're in your family, and you say, "Hey, I've got this legacy position. Come do nothing with me, and we'll get rich." It doesn't work that way.
No.
You have to actually do the business. You have to build the business. You need that good duplication. You need to take action.
That's right. Okay, so to close this out, doing that 5 and above, sponsoring as many people as you can, 5 and above, knowing that attrition is going to happen. And if you sponsor 125 people, the numbers are on your side in most cases with most network marketing companies. I would say that if you go over 100 in most companies, the numbers are on your side. It's just a matter of everything panning out from that point on. It doesn't mean that you quit and light up the cigar. It means you keep going. But the point is, you've got the numbers on your side, right, Miss Marie? Most comp plans are going to reward you for that type of sponsorship. Width is wealth. Always remember that. The wider you go, the more the more money you're going to qualify for, and the more people you're going to capture in your organization. So you have a bigger piece of the pie. It's probably a better way to put it. Just look at a pie chart, and you're going to have a bigger piece. Okay, if your goal is to own 60% of that total pie, then you've got to do the numbers, right, Miss Marie? That's the way it is. All right. So the thing is that when you do, and the numbers are in your favor, guess what? Your business gets so big that it is breaking new pins on a regular basis, which means that volume is being created. Always remember, pin rank advancement is a direct result of volume increase. It is a true indicator of what's going on in that organization. You want to know how healthy an organization is that's in your business? Look at the number of pins that it's breaking, not just the volume. If you have one organization that has 20 new pins in 1 month and another one that has 4, and they're both creating 10,000 group volume, there's a lot of different ways to create 10,000 group volume, right, Miss Marie?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, pin rank advancement in those businesses is a better indicator of the health of that business than the 10,000 group volume. Miss Marie, I guess we ought to do a show on that, and because we never really talk about the pin rank, but it is a true indicator of the health of a business. You say, well, why is it important? Because that business is going to have, it's going to be a strong weekly growth business, and it will be a business sooner rather than later that will go to the daily growth environment. Okay, because there's so many pins, and what is pins? They're leaders, right, Miss Marie? And they're growing leaders. Okay, and when you have 20 pins breaking in 1 month, guys, 1/3. It not only applies to the number of people you sponsor, it applies to everything in network marketing. And guess what? What is 1/3 of 20? It's 6. What does that mean? 6 people that are going to create a tremendous, they may go into diamond ship or above, right, Miss Marie? Where the other 17 of them may end up being rubies and pearls and sapphires, which are great positions and great money, okay? But you want as many diamonds as you can get, right, Miss Marie? Because that is the top of the ladder, right?
Absolutely.
And so that's the reason why Amway always sold Diamond Ship, Miss Marie. Why? Because it motivated people. Diamond Ship meant a lifestyle. That's what it meant, Miss Marie. They rarely talked about the money. We're going to close here in a minute. But what they did, Amway did a wonderful job, or the organizations in Amway, of selling a lifestyle. And what they did is they sold the Diamond Ship, saying there's no lifestyle like the Diamond lifestyle. And man, they made it so special. I mean, they constantly promoted it, pictures and this and that. Bill Britt, the Britt ring, he gave you a $50,000 Britt diamond ring. You got a Rolex watch and something else just for becoming a diamond in his organization. Why? Because that's how much money the Diamond Ship was worth to Bill Britt in his pocketbook. Does that make sense, Miss Marie? And so they constantly promoted, and what? They highlighted the diamond lifestyle, and rightfully so. They did a great job of promoting that. Why? Because whoever has the most leaders, which is diamonds in this case, wins, right? Well, guess what? That is what you got going on here. And it's all about the pin rank advancement. And we'll do an episode on that too. So, Miss Marie, did I make that clear? Is it that clear?
Yep.
Guys, the only way you get volume growth on a daily basis, first it's always going to be monthly, then it's going to go into weekly, and then it's going to go into daily, is with this wealth, sponsor as many people as you possibly can, do a phase 3 and 4 if you have to, business building process, focus on people that are 5 and above, ensure that you have as many people as possible doing 100 PV per month, and sell the 10,000 group volume level, right, Miss Marie? If you do those things, you will have multiple people throughout your organization growing at different rates and many pen rank advancements, which will cause weekly and then daily growth. And when you get to that level, guys, you're at the legacy position door. You're knocking on it. And you may, in fact, be one of the few that get to go through. And if you do, you're going to be set up like a Richard Call, like a Bill Britt, a Dexter Yeager. I could go on and on and on. I'm leaving out a lot of great people. And Mona V is Black Diamonds, Miss Marie. And I knew a Black Diamond, a couple of them in Mona V. And the lifestyles they had were incredible, incomparable to any other network marketing company out there. But that was the highest level. And you don't get there and stay there, Miss Marie, unless you have a massive organization, which is a legacy position. So once you close this out, why take this call?
All right, absolutely. Well, thanks, Rob. That's some great information that you shared. Again, that's one of those topics that we really don't hear about very often. So, that's why you want to join us here on the show. Weekdays, 11 a.m. Eastern time. As a matter of fact, tomorrow we're going to be talking about another subject that not a lot of people cover very much, and that's the pros and cons of conference calls. Conference calls are something that network marketing companies do. Leadership teams do themselves within their own network marketing organizations. And there are some pros and cons to those conference calls. So we want to be sure to share those with you as well. So as always, if you will please give us a thumbs up if you like what you hear and you understand the points that we're making. We appreciate that interactive feedback. It helps us know that we're on target and addressing those topics that you want to hear about. And then, as always, if you will please like, comment, and share on our various social media platforms. You can always find us by using the hashtag the MLM Solution. That's hashtag the MLM Solution. You also visit our website, themlmsolution.net. You can get podcast replays there, as well as many of our products are available as well. So check that out. And then finally, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go out there and make sure you register for notifications. Click on that little bell twice. That will allow you to be notified when we go live or when we upload other content and keep you up to date. So again, tomorrow's topic, be sure to join us, the pros versus the cons of conference calls. And we will see you tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Rob, anything you want to say before we close out here?
No, you filled in admirably. Thank you so much. That was the wife, and I needed to take that call and just getting an update.
No, very good. All right. Well, we'll see you 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to today's podcast. Download our podcast on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, and other podcast platforms. Visit our website at www.themlmsolution.net for additional important information, show details, and past shows. Follow us on Parler, Rumble, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button, or the get notified button while visiting our other social media platforms.